Hey Scrappy friends, it's Audrey. Today I'm participating in Scraptember, a page a day with Laura Alberts and the Scrappy Sisters. And every day they have a different theme or prompt, I guess. And today's prompt is old stash or hoarding, which I have plenty of old stash. So I broke out this really old Studio Calico collection, which I'm showing here is called South Market from 2014. And you can see I have used quite a bit of it. It's been sitting in a bag. I actually have it in my pile of summer scrapping supplies. I'm not really sure why. But anyways, here it is. It has some wood veneer, some stickers, mostly paper, and this is what I'm going to try to use today. So I sometimes think that the best way to get use of scraps of paper is to cut them up into smaller pieces, especially when you have a lot of different patterns and colors. So I'm going to use some dies here. I have some Concord and Ninth dies and some Tim Holtz dies. And I'm sorry, not Tim Holtz, Sizzix dies. And I'm going to cut them into some leaf shapes. So I'm showing you the 6 dies I'm using here. I'm only going to show you one. So I take one, this yellow pattern paper, and I'm going to cut out these 6 different leaf shapes. And I'm going to do that for, I think, 5 or 6 different colors of paper. So I'm going to try to use as many of the papers here that I can. So you'll see me, they're kind of stuck right now up in the top right of my desk, and I have my photos arranged there on the page, and I'm going to start bringing these leaves in. So I'm using 3 3x4 photos, which if you watch me, you know that I often only use 1, maybe 2. I don't really scrap that multi-photo layouts that much. And I always tend to use the same kind of layout or design when I'm using 3 or 4 photos. So it's this cluster of photos, and for some reason I just can't get away from that right now, but it is what it is. So I am just going to make kind of 3 clusters of leaves around my photos here. So these photos are of an event in August called Harvest Festival that we go to in this small town near the lake we're at, and it's really just a parade of tractors and old cars. But the kids love it because they throw tons of candy. I actually don't think we see any type of produce that's actually being harvested at all. Like, it's not in the parade. It's kind of strange, actually. It's just a tractor parade. But they love it. They get tons of candy. But I kind of wanted to go like with a harvest theme, so that's why I'm using leaves, and that's why I decided to use this collection as well. Speaking of harvest, I'm going to cut out a little apple here and bring in a little pop of red. So I like the way that the colors of the leaves that I cut out kind of, like, I don't know, make me think of like a late August field, the colors that you would see in plants in late August. So because I have that one pop of red with the apple, I feel like I'm going to have a couple other pops of red here. But let me kind of create some embellishments by cutting out some labels, some titles, cutting out some of the pattern paper. So there's another pop of red, and then I definitely need something else down in the bottom right corner. Oh yeah, I forgot that those little chipboard pieces, aren't those so cute? I forgot that those were in there, the little fruit. So I'll put a little pear in there as well. I didn't pick anything like citrusy or anything because, I mean, in the Northeast we have like apples, maybe pears, but that's about it. I mean, we don't have lemons or limes or anything like that. So okay, I'm gonna back my photos with some pattern paper. I only had enough of that gray polka dot to back 2 of the photos, so I'm gonna back the 3rd photo with just another pattern paper. And watch what happens here with my glue. Oh, maybe this isn't the one. Oh, I tried to glue something and the whole blob of glue, my glue bottle was clogged a little. And of course a whole smear of glue came out. And I'm just going to distress the edges of my photos. And now I'm going to take everything off as usual and do some mixed media in the background. So I've got some water, and I'm pretty sure this piece of paper is already gessoed. Yeah, it definitely is, because I wouldn't do this technique unless I had put gesso on it. So I am using a color from Shimmers called Rolling in the Hay, which I thought was pretty perfect for a page about a harvest festival. And I actually like this color. I mean, I know it looks kind of muddy brown, but really, I mean, it does look just like hay. So if you're going for that look, I think it's good. It has a tinge of green in it. And I'm going to add a little bit of, what's the other color I used? Do I show you? I can't remember. Anyway, it's a little bit of a reddish color. Oh, maybe this is rose gold. Yes, I think that is. And then I'll just do some splatters. Oh, that's the rose gold. Yep. And then the Tuscan sun, I think, is this yellow. And some splatters there. And then, can't remember, pink Moscato, I think, is this one. So I'm going to hit that with the heat gun. And just I'm going to wipe up some of the more wet areas here. And then once that dries, I go back actually with a little bit of blue because I wanted just a little like contrast, something different from like the brownish pinkish I got going on here. So just a tiny bit of blue. And there's that. Okay, so I'm going to start layering this back together. I'll take my photos. I'm going to put them on some craft foam here. And I'll arrange them like I have them. One thing I always kind of forget to do when I'm laying out my page, well, not forget, but something that happens is that I usually lay my page out with just my photos as is without the mat around them, and sometimes I place items around them and I forget to consider the size of the photo mat that I add to them, and it sometimes makes the design slightly different because when you add the photo mat, it takes up a little bit more space. So I sometimes forget to do that. Oh, there's the blob. I don't know if you saw me squeeze out that huge blob of glue on this piece right this piece of the red like gingham paper in the bottom left. So I'm just using the pile of glue that's on this piece of paper to like dab these leaves in, because God forbid I waste a half a teaspoon of glue. And I'm kind of ducking the leaves in here and then sticking them under the photos. So when I had cleared off my page to do my mixed media, I kept the piles of leaves together. So like the one on the right here, I pushed to the right, and the one at the top I had pushed to the top. And I'm just going to go through and tuck these in. It's not exactly the same way I had it to start, but you know, you still get the same effect by looking at the clusters of leaves. And I'm just trying to balance out the colors when I put them in. The piece of pattern paper that is kind of there that shows like kind of that greenish tag that I'm fiddling with right now with sticking the leaves under. So that was part of the design of the pattern paper, and I don't know if you caught me cutting that out. But it had like that green block, and then kind of looks like a piece of green burlap, and then the gingham print. But that's all pattern paper. So, and it was one piece of pattern paper, so I kind of just fussy cut that out, and I thought that would be a nice place to kind of tuck a title. Okay, so I'm loading this baby up with some leaves, and then I'm going to go back through and add in the other little embellishments I had put there. So I got my fruit cluster on the left, and then I have these two little red labels at the bottom, which is where I will add my journaling. I'm going to pop these up. And then I went into some even older stash, and I dug out these little yellow bicycles, so a company that no longer exists. These, what's the word, burlap pieces, and they have all kinds of shapes, and one was a little banner, but I took the circle off the banner, and then I'm using the end of the banner to kind of, again, create my visual triangle of burlap pieces, and I just love the texture that burlap adds. Speaking of burlap, I picked out these stickers that had like a burlap pattern, but you couldn't really see them very well. So I decided to go with these basic gray stickers, which are circa 2010. So these babies are 10 years old. And I know I have stash even older than that. And I'm going to use, the dark letters just showed up way better on the green here instead of using the brown burlap letters. So I'm just going to title this Harvest Fest. And you notice, again, if you watch my pages, I don't often use a ruler to line things up or to place things perfectly. I don't know. I literally just place it in there and hope for the best and rearrange it as I go if I need to. So that's fine. Okay, I forgot I had this little piece of flair that says locally grown, which I thought is super cute. So that is a great little embellishment for the center of that burlap circle. And then these stars came, well, were in the bag with the stuff I had with this kit. I don't know if they were with this line or whatever, but they're kind of like a wood grain little star. So I'm just going to add them in. I mean, I guess it doesn't really go too much with the theme, but they're cute. They add a little contrast. They got that wood grain look, which is, kind of that natural element. And I'll scatter those around in a couple clusters. And what else do I do? Oh yeah, these phrase stickers also came, which these phrase stickers are super cute. Like the one on the top blue sheet right here, I don't know if you can see, it says, "I love you more than bacon." Like there's some great phrases. It's not your typical like hello or beautiful or so sweet. These are like kind of silly phrases. They're cute. And I just add a couple of those and that's it. There is the finished page and all the close-ups of those die-cut leaves and the title and flare and burlap there and some more of the details. So I love, love, love using my older stash. I have so much of it. I've actually, after this, I really considered like maybe doing a regular series where I bust out my old stash. So perhaps you might see that in the next couple months, weeks, who knows. But thank you so much for watching and stay scrappy, friends. Please make sure you go check out the other ladies' pages today and enjoy Scraptember.